This message is to all the incredible students who did not get into nursing school right now. Maybe you didn't get into medical school. Maybe you failed your PhD qualifying exam. It's a very, very hard, frustrating time for a lot of people. I think we're seeing the side of it where there's a lot of celebrations and people who got in, but there's a big amount of people who didn't. And this message is for you. I wanted to tell you that this is not a reflection about you. This doesn't mean that you're not good enough. It doesn't mean you're not smart enough. It doesn't mean any of these things. Rejection and failure are parts of life that you're going to look back on many, many years later, and you're going to say, that made me a much better scientist. That made me a much better doctor. That made me a much better nurse. That made me realize that I should have done this and not that. And it's very easy to fall in this sea of I'm not good enough. And I'm telling you this from someone that fell in this, from having gotten both multiple rejections in my life for schools I wanted to get into and multiple failures in my life for exams that I needed to pass that took me a few times of taking to pass. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to sit here and tell you need to work harder, because I'm going to assume that a lot of you did everything in your power to do the best that you can. And the road to success is not like this. It's not like this. A lot of times we see someone, they went to medical school, they became a doctor. They went to nursing school, they became a nurse. But really, it's like this. It's filled with ups and downs, and it's these ups and downs that later on you're going to realize in life are what shaped you. Maybe you take this year off that you didn't get in, and you go and you volunteer in a hospital and you reapply, and you realize while you're in the hospital, you know what? I actually don't want to be a nurse. I actually want to be a doctor. Or maybe I don't want to be a doctor. I actually want to be a nurse. Maybe you want to be a scientist. Maybe you still want to do what you want to do, and when you apply the second or third or fifth time, you're more ready, you're stronger, you're going to be a better applicant. So I am just telling you this from a lot of pain. I know it's a very sad time for a lot of people. I know from having been there, and I see the pain on my students' face, and I just want to tell you, this is not a reflection of who you are at all. It doesn't mean you're not smart enough. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of being the best nurse. It doesn't mean that you're not capable of being the best doctor or the best scientist or the best PhD or whatever program you didn't get into. It just means that right now is not the time. And I want you to take this time to reflect, to sit, to reassess your goals, to really spend time thinking about what you want, and to know that the most important thing you can do right now, and what I wish I would have told my younger self, is to believe in yourself. That's all you need to do, because you're amazing. The fact that you wanted to do these things, you're amazing. You are good enough, and it's their loss right now.